Live from Kuala Lumpur, this is CB Times, your front row seat to today's most important stories. I'm Gideon.
And I'm Ayuni.
We will be diving into the subjects that matter most. Every 9th of December, the world unites for International Anti-Corruption Days, and that's the focus of our special segment today. As we mark these days, many wonder, why is this day so important? Ayuni, what's your take on this?
Anti-Corruption Day is crucial, Gideon, because this day raises this much needed awareness on the issue of corruption. Going deeper than just that, it also highlights the importance of collective efforts in combating it alongside fostering integrity.
You are right, Ayuni. By fostering a culture of integrity, everyone can work together to create a fair and just society. This is just a snippet of what we'll get into today. As in this segment, we'll be talking all about corruptions, the factors, symptoms, the impact, and most importantly, what the public thinks of it.
Stay tuned as we dive deeper into this topic and hear exclusive interviews from the public regarding their views of corruption.
To begin our first segment, what actually drives corruptions? Why do people fall into it? Ayuni, did you know that in Malaysia, factors of corruption fall within the corrupt practices in politics, economics, and social?
Oh my, that's a lot. Let's see what the public has to say about this matter.
From my perspective, a big problem is how power is constructed in a few hands. I've seen government decisions made with little thoughts and oversight. They are only doing things that would benefit them and them only. People in this high position can easily abuse their authority.
I work in the public sector, and honestly, the pay is low. I'm seeing colleagues sub-right just to make ends meet because the cost of living keep rising, and without extra income, it's hard to survive. It doesn't feel right, but for many of us, there is no choice.
In where I live, it's very common to see people who give gifts to government officials. It's considered as part of the culture, but sometimes it crosses a line because you are expected to give something in return for a small favor. People don't see this as something wrong because it's just how things are done.
Well, that was eyes-opening. We can see that concentrations of power, wealth contrast, and cultural norms are some of the main factors that contribute to corruption in our country.
That's the heartbreaking truth, Gideon. Corruption directly impacts communities and public services, not to mention how lack of awareness by the public is also another factor in this matter, hence the reason why we are delivering this news to everyone.
Now, recognizing the signs of corruption is very important as it helps to identify and fight against it.
Absolutely. Now, let's hear what the public believe the symptoms of corruption are.
When I think of corruption, bribery is the first thing that comes to mind. It's about giving or getting something valuable to influence someone in power. Unfortunately, this has become way too common, and people often feel like they cannot say no because the bribes usually comes from someone with a lot of power.
Personally, I would say embezzlement is a major symptom of corruption. It's when someone steals money or assets they're supposed to be managing. For example, the 1MDB scandal is probably the most well-known case of embezzlement. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Nepotism or favoritism is another big sign of corruption. It's when people in power hands out jobs or chances to their friends or family, even if they are not the best fit for the job. We all heard of Nepo babies, right? This kind of practice can really hold back new ideas and lead to poor decisions.
Nepo babies. Wow, I didn't even know that was a term. But yes, that's right, folks. Favoritism, embezzlement, bribery, these are all indicators to corruptions.
Couldn't agree more, Gideon. Clearly, corruption is a complex issue with numerous symptoms, all of which contribute to society's decline.
Absolutely. But let's not stop there. What about the impacts?
I'm sure our interviewers have a lot to say about this. Let's turn the camera back to them, shall we?
What do I think the impacts are?
Definitely the business costs, they get higher.
I would say it's weakened democracy, damaging important decision making.
Also causing inequality in many situations.
Unfair market too.
It definitely undermines law enforcement as well.
There's just so much more.
Exactly. The impacts of corruption are endless. There's truly too much to cover in just one segment.
Absolutely, Gideon. Corruption affects every aspect of our life and has far-reaching effects on the society.
First and foremost, a special thanks to our interviewees for sharing their views on this matter. Now, as we wrap up our special segment on International Anti-Corruption Day, it has become clear that understanding corruption and its effects is extremely important.
Absolutely, Gideon. By recognizing the realities of corruption, we can unite our efforts and build a stronger united front against it for the sake of a better tomorrow. Remember, change starts with us.
So let's act now and end corruption today. Join the movement and share your voice online using hashtag Bersama Melawan Rasuah. Together, we start this journey towards a corruption-free future.
Thank you for tuning in. Stay aware, stay active, and remember, bersatu melawan rasuah. Good night from EB Times. We'll see you next week.